Today's attached playlist song is going to be a song that helped me get my master's degree. Whenever I hear it, because I literally played it on repeat while I studied for my master's oral exam, I don't just think about fungi and their taxonomy, phylogeny, and the implications of asexual versus sexual spore dispersal. I also think about an undergraduate relationship I had that was kind of a hurricane. Today's attachment style that I will feature is not the fearful, avoidant partner that the actual singer represents. The person I am focusing on today is the dismissive, avoidant woman featured as Kimbra in this video. If you haven't figured it out yet, the song is Somebody I Used to Know, which apparently there's now a movie by that name. Now and then I think of when we were together. Baba Black Sheep plays in the background. Like when you said you were happy you could die. I told myself you were right for me, but felt so lonely in your company. That was love, and it's an ache I remember. I know I got the words wrong there, but I really like this song in a lot of ways. There was this girl named, well, I won't say her name. There was this girl, and the situation in which we met was a little potentially creepy. I saw her name tag on the quad, I saw her smile, and her name stood out in my mind. And so when I was on the bus later that day to go ice skating, I saw her and I said, "Oh, Evan!" She's like, "Did we meet?" I was like, "No, I just remembered your smile." Sure, it sounds great, but it's you could construe that one way or another. Anyway, the point is, for 2 weeks we were pretty hot and heavy. Between classes, after classes, I wrote a whole song about it, actually. It's one of my favorite things. I was going to feature it in this video, but that's okay. She was interesting, but I never felt completely at ease. I never really revealed myself around her. I spent a lot of time being quiet, but she was more than happy to fill the silence. She had a lot to say. She was very talkative. So it kind of worked. And I was still saving myself for marriage at this time. And she offered to be my guinea pig, poking, prodding, is what I asked her, and she said yes, which was interesting, but I didn't accept the offer. But again, it was the first person I ever made out with. It was really interesting, really. She loved music. And this is something that's true of a lot of my relationships. I never let the relationship ruin music for me. She introduced me to Dispatch, which is my second favorite band. I still love Dispatch, despite the fact that this relationship ended in flames. At some point, there was a retreat for the freshman class. She went on a separate retreat group than I did. I wasn't in the learning community, so I didn't go on the retreat. I had to go to a different one because of classes or projects or something. So I went on this retreat. I came back. She came back. We were different retreats. And she said, I had some time to think. I decided when I went to college, or I figured when I went to college, I would either find something like you, or I would be a whore. And I want to try the whore thing for a while. We can still hang out. And just like that, it was over. Oh, man. For someone to describe themselves that way was very interesting. But also, another reason why we weren't compatible. So, she goes her way, I go my way. I'm very distraught. Even though I wasn't comfortable in this relationship, even though I felt lonely in her company, I was still very upset that it was over. I can get addicted to some kind of sadness, like resignation. To the end, always the end. So when that we found we could not make sense, well, you said that we could still be friends. Exactly. That's almost exactly what she said. But I'll admit, I was glad it was over. And that was true. Eventually. But before the glad it was over part, I came by with a stack of lyrics from the song she introduced me to, with the lyrics highlighted of the song lyrics in each song that I thought applied to our whatever you want to call it. And that was enough for her to say, we're not even going to hang out. So, a very, very, what is that, protest behavior slash activating strategy slash self-destruction, glorious blaze. Yeah, when you didn't have to cut me off, make out like it never happened and we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger and I feel so rough. So, at this point, cold turkey, she completely ignores me. I'm talking to her best friend standing right next to her. Sorry, no threatening gestures here. I'm talking to her best friend standing right next to her about this or that. And we're both in the same botany class. And this girl that we were together 2 weeks, it was really intense, turns her back to me, doesn't even acknowledge I'm there. It felt so rough. You didn't have to stoop so low. Change her number. She didn't do that, but I didn't have a cell phone at that point, so it didn't matter. I don't need that, though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Anyway, this is the part of the song where I no longer understand. And this is where I'm seeking input from the comments below. More input, Johnny 5. Short circuit. Her part I don't get. I've never really understood her part. I understand she was able to deactivate. She was completely emotionally unavailable to me. It felt very cold. And I think she probably was a dismissive avoidant thinking back. And I was definitely acting a little anxious, preoccupied. I definitely protested. I definitely had the activating strategies. I did that. I get it. There was some triggering going on both sides. But this part of this song I don't get, so I'm going to ask for a lot of help here. Now and then I think of all the times you screwed me over. I didn't really screw her over, but I think about, I used to do my homework before I'd come see her. She didn't. She actually ended up flunking out that semester. So part of me wonders, not that this song is my life, but if she matches the mentality of the people represented in the song, which is a totally fictional reality which may have no basis on reality, that I live now, she may have blamed me for her lack of ability to perform her school tasks. I don't know. But had me believing that it was always something that I'd done. But I don't want to live that way, reading into every word you say. I've had some breakup sort of situations where the girl's, I'm tired of being psychoanalyzed. So, whoa, that's sexist. Let's not do that. I'm tired of being psychoanalyzed, everything you say, everything I say. And you said that I could let it go, and I wouldn't get you hung up on somebody that you used to know. Yeah, I guess here I am hung up, sort of, indirectly, 20 years later. But I would also argue that I'm not hung up. I'm using it so that others may learn through song about these things that are deeply embedded in the way we interact with others that we may not even be aware of, which I definitely wasn't until very recent history. Yeah, it's rough. Cold turkey, don't like it. I was a vegetarian when this happened too. Cold turkey really did not taste good. Thank you for listening. Leave comments below. Try to explain to me how he may have screwed her over. I don't get it. I get a lot of things, but I'm also reading in a lot into the song. But I would love to hear instances where someone felt screwed over by their anxious, preoccupied partner. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. I don't like the smash word. It sounds too violent, and it's a sex word I don't care for. So like, subscribe, enjoy, appreciate, thumb up, whatever you want to call that thing. Thanks for watching. See you next week.